the matter, they would do that. So first, let's see your immediate reaction when you got that news. Before we go to how Femi Falana has also said whether or not the military even has a right to declare people wanted. So let's see, Maxwell.
Well, my position on this issue has not changed. Some persons or majority of persons in the political sector and the security sector are making money with insecurity in Nigeria. And the more we have more insecurity, more extrajudicial killing and what have you, the more they have more budget. What do I mean? Starting from the military, I doubt whether there is anybody. I'm not talking about what do they call those ones, rank and file, the ones that we call recruits. All those officials, all those military captain, major general, lieutenant colonel, they are all rich. Just cool down, watch each and every one of them. They have made a lot of money as a result of this insecurity. Taking what we are talking about, the people that...
sorry, before you go to that, a lot of money as a result of insecurity. From who and
from
how?
the government now. All the money that we have been budgeted for insurgency, how much? From the time Buhari, the worst president Nigeria ever produced, took over power up to now. Check how much Nigeria has spent. What was the result? What is the result as we talk, as we speak? Now, we are talking about that of Delta incident. Who gave that order? I grew up when we were small. You hardly see a military man. You hardly see them. When they say that military, they are coming, people will know that that is something that is beyond police, beyond the DSS. 2 days before that incident happened, in my own area, in my own village, in Umuoka's Amuzi, in Ahazunbise local government area of Imo State, they were having a local village issue. This one said they have impeached the chairman of just local a kindred. The other group now went to go and call the military from Mbise Junction. The military came to my village and they started calling us. We started asking the military, what happened? They said that they were misinformed and they gave them money or whatever. They left. I'm talking about Nigerian army. So now, who gave that order? As a military, before you move, you don't just move. If you call a police officer now that there is a robbery going on in this Asokru, a professional police officer will first of all get in touch with the division, the DPO, Asokru. Get information if there is any police force. These are the things they don't need to. But somebody must have given them money. Go the other party because they are factions, and somebody must have given those people information that the military they are coming and they are now disturbing the entire community that they should give you. Who is the person that is going to give you information? That illiterate woman in the bush, that illiterate man, that Panwatapa that is going to give information. This is a syndicate. This is an organized crime. Take what happened. We are talking about incident. You said that you arrested. We are having problem here. I think in January. Kidnapping everywhere in FCT, from Kubwa to Zuba, everywhere. People started accusing Wike that you said blah, 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 when you make president to stop this thing. Wike now saw it as a challenge. Wike now sent for a commission of police. What happened? Under 1 month, we have peace in FCT. If you watch from February up to now, we have not even had the issue of his kidnapping. So, which means the security and the government, they know those who are kidnappers, and they know how to address it.
Or is it that it's not being reported, maybe?
If there is a kidnapping in Kuba now, you will know. If there is a kidnapping in Asokoro, there will not be people, their family members, people will report it. So the point I'm making is that the government know how to address this issue. And I'm telling you, take it to the bank. No person in that community will give information. Information for what?
All right, let me come to...
the one they are giving the SSS, what are they doing with it?
Indeed. Let me ask Barrister Victor Giwa. You're talking about a lieutenant colonel, 2 majors, a captain, 1 staff sergeant, 2 corporals, and 5 lance corporals, as well as 5 privates, mowed down in cold blood in 1 day. He has spoken about the complicity Our reviewers here say our military may have just been politicized. And then the question is who gave the order. But then do you agree that the death of this man, regardless of however it happened, is a death too many for the Nigerian military in such a tragic way?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I really want to console the families, the Nigerian Army first of all, and the families of those soldiers that were killed in Delta State. May their soul rest in peace. It's when I've not been able to, get away with it. I'm not a member of the military, but that act itself is dastardly.
And traumatic.
It's traumatic, and people don't understand. You see, because in Nigeria we are used to people dying, so to us it's like a norm. But it's even more tragic when it involves the military. People who, beyond being a citizen, took some extra steps to say that they will dedicate their lives to the protection of the territorial integrity and lives of the citizenry. But let me start from where he stopped. I disagree with him very fundamentally. First of all, Section 218 of the Constitution gives the president the power to appoint or to determine the operational use of the military. So whether any lawyer is saying that or whether the military should be there, that power is for the president to determine. It's at his discretion. Why the primary objective of the military to protect the territorial integrity, but that section also gives the president right to call them to help for when there is any civil insurrections. And in Nigeria, as a matter of fact, I have listened to everybody. Some persons who have made comments on this issue, and I'm just laughing. If I was the president, Section 305 of the Constitution would have been invoked, subject to the Constitution subject to this Constitution. The president shall, by an instrument in an official declaration, may issue a proclamation of state of emergency in the federation or any part. I would have declared the state of emergency in the Bombardier local government area, take over from the local government chairman, take that place, and do you know what it means to bring down 17? That is 181 amphibian battalion. Not during war. As a matter of fact, I felt that, with respect to the president, I didn't see the president. President should have invoked Section 305. Take over the local government. Let us see how. By now, you shouldn't be even asking you are looking for 8 people. By then, you have taken over the local government, the military. Because the actions of the military after that incident, people have said, oh, they were killing people. Then you will talk about the issue of human rights. But when the first thing the president should have done, and nobody have said it, should have declared, make that issue a proclamation under Section 305. Because Section 305, subsection 3, paragraph B and C, says that the president has right to issue a proclamation of emergency. Sub C says that when there is breakdown of public order and public safety, such that an extraordinary measure will be required to restore public safety and peace. When a whole 17 soldiers were brought down, there is no public order anymore. There is no public safety. The president should have declared the state of emergency under Section 301 on that, in that part. I'm not saying for the people should not misconstrue that part. That part, that local government, Bombardier local government, and the military should have taken over. By now, even this culprit, maybe some of them have conspirators who are telling them, well, the military are coming, though. And they'll be running. And now the
Okay,
military
They would have been
everywhere.
apprehended.
And the military are looking for people. No, they should have. It should be. This is a cosmetic approach to this kind of thing. And
All
you
right.
see, it's only in Nigeria that history repeats itself. It happens in Saudi, and now it's happening again. And the reason is because the people in government have failed to take certain responsibility. So for anybody to come and say, what is the military doing there? Let us assume, without conceding, that they went for any illegal activities. Would that be the result? Why not write an official petition that there's some members of the Nigerian army who are involved in illegal activities in certain part of Nigeria?
Okay, so
Yes,
let's
indeed.
come to this
So
next
I
question.
don't want us
It-
to
it-
start playing
Victor.
all these things. It shouldn't even come at
Victor,
all.
well said, and I'm sure that, perhaps Maxwell may differ because I see him shaking his head, in lack of understanding. But let's look at this issue of the High Court in Borno State that has ordered the release of no fewer. The number is not 13, it's not 23, it's not 33, 313 suspected terrorists arrested by the military for lack of evidence. So someone asks, what is the evidence you have to give for being a terrorist? Somebody asked that online yesterday. But 313?
I think before I go into that, I think the essence of all this discussion is for us to get it right going forward. We're not talking about those that died. They're already dead. We are talking about...
But
how
their
to-
lives matter.
Yes.
Their lives
They-
matter.
Of course. Now, and I think Victor is getting it wrong. When I said, I'm not saying that you don't justify that killing for whatever reason. We are asking a question so that you don't repeat itself again. We are saying they are misusing the operation of the Nigerian military. Somebody is looking for land in Abuja here. Somebody is looking for dragging land with somebody. You can invite the military. It has happened even yesterday. I saw, I think in Kakaaki here, where they are talking about land. We have some estate developers, instead of, they will have court order, stop work. You don't have to continue work. They will go and bring the military.
That is not deployment.
Excuse me.
That is not the deployment of army.
Excuse me. I'm
When
coming.
somebody knows,
Excuse me.
that
Victor,
is not the deployment.
Victor, let us have
as
decorum.
contemplated in the Constitution.
Victor,
Let
let
me
us have
finish.
decorum. And we are now saying that for you to deploy the army in any particular area, it has a procedure. We are talking about the president. The power given to the president is not absolute. You are expected to exercise that power in line with the law. Now, we are not talking about issue that has to do with the one in Borno State, releasing those terrorists by the court. Now, you now ask yourself, one, who arrested those people? Who investigated those people? Because in our own judicial criminal jurisprudence, procedurally, we have a procedure. You arrest, you investigate, you write up your report. And immediately you write up your report, you send it to the legal department. If it's police or Ministry of Justice, they will now prefer a charge. And for you to prefer a charge, you must have your evidence for you to go to court. And when you are going to court, you now arraign the person in court, you will now take his plea. Then the trial continues.
But they said lack of evidence.
Now, that is the question. Now, the judge, starting from the judge, because most of the times we are talking about the society, I'm beginning to see that some judicial officers, judges in quote, they are now trying to be a part of our problem. Except I'm a lawyer, I go to court almost every day. When somebody apply to withdraw a charge, get this scenario. A particular banker in Abia State, about to be precise, used my client's account to loan over 5 billion naira. Now, my client now discovered that, reported it to police. Police in Abia State investigated the matter. They're about to go to court. The bankers with their syndicate now wrote a petition. The matter was transferred to Abuja here. And we followed it up. They wanted to kill it. We said no. Now, the DIG now ordered that they should take the matter back to court because the charge is already there. Now, the day the matter they're supposed to arraign, they now work with somebody in the legal department, giving the file to prosecute. The guy now from our back filed notice of withdrawal of the charge. The judge in Federal Court Umaya said, no, I want to see the lawyer who filed this notice of withdrawal. And I want him to appear here before me. We adjourned the matter. We have written a petition. What am I saying? Most of the times when they did not provide evidence, you as a judge, you are living in the society. you can ask questions. Some of the judges will even go out of their way to order the people that investigated the matter because we have the power under Section 6. Under Section 6, the judge has a power to even invite the people who investigated the matter. Because one, you are releasing these people. We are talking about 313. To come and do what? To come and start from where they stopped. And you are a judge. You can be a victim. We are now seeing what we are talking about when we are talking about in Imo State with respect to IPOB. What is the problem there? The problem there is that somebody came up with an association agitating for self-determination. Instead of you to look at the issue, you wake up one early morning, you declare the organization a terrorist organization. And the terrorism is an international crime. I saw them there in France. I saw them there in Germany. I saw them there in Sweden. I saw them there in Belgium. They are having their meetings with police guiding them. They pay their dues. They are registered there in those countries. And those countries are now seeing them as a legal organization. But here in Nigeria, you declare them a terrorist organization. In order to do what? Now, what makes an association, I'm going to somewhere, what makes an association a terrorist organization is not the members, is the object. I'm a member of Nigerian Bar Association. If I'm using the name of Nigerian Bar Association to go and commit terrorism, that does not make Nigerian Association a terrorist organization. In fact, even the president, if the president, who is Wise Mikel, use the name to go and commit a crime, that does not make the association a terrorist organization. Get him arrested, prosecute him. Now, this particular issue now, I believe they should be investigated, the judicial officer and the prosecutor. Because one of the things, if you want to destroy your case, you also ask the prosecutor what happened. Because most of the times, the people that investigated the matter, they will carry the evidence and give to the prosecutor. And the prosecutor now will get the evidence, get it ready, together with the witness they are going to use in the trial. And if the terrorist group, the accused, want to kill the matter, they can work with the prosecutor. The prosecutor may decide not to provide those evidence, and the judge will be handicapped. Now, what can the judge help? The judge can help. You can ask questions, because this particular issue we are talking about has a lot to do with human beings, and it has destroyed our economy. It has destroyed a lot of persons. So when you now said, well, because of a lack of diligent prosecution, I hereby dismiss this charge and discharge the accused. You don't do that kind of thing, for Christ's sake. So, and why? This is not the first one, is because this one is being reported. If you go down and investigate, it has been happening. But when it has to do with the other side, probably in the south, if you watch the kind of pressure, the effort, all the pressure that is being mounted in the southeast as a result of IPOB, if you mount half of that pressure in the north, we will not have this issue of insurgents. So there is an issue that need to be investigated. I think the NJC have to come in to ask what's happened. The people get it right. Discharging you is not acquitting you. Court can discharge you as you are coming out to be rearrested, except the court to make a consequential order that this person should not be rearrested without the leave of the court. But if you are discharged, that doesn't mean that you have been acquitted. As you are coming out from the court, the security agents can still rearrest you to go and put their house in order. So I'm sure that they have not.
But the story is that they will be handed over to the Borno State government. So let's come to you now. You're also a lawyer, and I'm wondering, how evidence is actually built in the case of terrorism, really, because for the military to have arrested those people, I want to believe that probably they caught them with the people they kidnapped or they are dealing with at the time, and those people are probably still alive to be able to testify in court that, okay, these were the people that held us or not. So how did it happen that there was no evidence against 313 people?
See, Nigeria is a theater. And I'm not surprised with all these informations. First of all, I don't have enough facts as concerning this particular case, but I will just speak on the obvious. Firstly, the judge, trial is not investigation, and investigation is not the duty of the court. And the kind of practice we have here in Nigeria is adversarial system, not inquisitorial. So the judge, the jurist, does not have the locus to start inquiring into the facts of the case. The judge is an arbiter. The judge has his limitation. So decided cases are clear. Trial is not investigation. An investigation is not the duty of the court. Now, as to how the court comes to that conclusion,
Does it mean there were no witnesses?
It could be political.
Okay.
It could be a means of, because you see, Nigeria, I know we need to speak to factual issues here. And we should also understand the fact that when issues of arrest by the military or by any security agency is concerned, there is first the presumption of innocence. That is one. It runs during trial. Then two, when the security agents arrest 500 persons, some of those arrested, it depends. That's why I say I don't have the facts. Security agency may be looking for 8 people, like they've declared now. But you'll be surprised that they arrested 40 people. So they have to do what we call the screening. And if in some cases, I'm not justifying what has happened, but I have to state the facts so that we can understand what we are talking about. Now, if during their raid, because some of these things include they do raiding and all of that, you know, and who even took these guys to court? How did they get to court? Who were they?
Who did the investigation?
Who did the investigation? Was it the military that did the investigation? If military arrested those persons, is it the military that should take them to court? See, these are fundamental questions you should ask. So when the military arrests those terrorists, you give it to the police to do investigation, and you take them to civil, or the Ministry of Justice, you hand them to the Ministry of Justice. And so the truth is, which is undisputable, is that the court is not, the duty of the court does not include investigation.
All right.
And so certain facts have to be put on the ground. Okay. However, I will not foreclose the fact that there are, like I said, there are likely reasons that, you know, they've discovered that these persons.
Okay, for want of time, Victor, let me just come in here because we're going to definitely be having this conversation. So, final thoughts to you, Barrister Maxwell. I mean, the Director of Defense Media said the suspects were detained on suspicion and no evidence was found. And then, according to them, was prosecuted by Federal Ministry of Justice, but they have now been handed over to the Borno State government. What's your final thought on that?
Under which order? You see, let us get this right. Because when we are talking about terrorism, this is a very serious offense that has to do with the image of a country. And we are not talking about issuance of dog check, which is also a crime. We are not talking about defamation or criminal defamation. We are talking about terrorism. Just like using IPOB as an instance, whom you declared a terrorist
Your
organization.
final thoughts, please.
Yes, IPOB has their own funding. They are not hiding it. They pay dues. You have, yes, go to Germany, they have their card. They are not hiding it. Some of the persons there in those, they pay dues. We have professors there. We have Reverend Fathers there.
Can we have your final thoughts?
I'm
because we're out of time.
We're totally out of time for this segment.
Now, excuse. Now we are talking about this particular issue. Before you arraign a terrorist suspect to court, it's not something that a division can do. A lot of processes has been taking place. Now that you have handed them over to police, to do what? Under what order? So we are now saying that this particular issue that has to do with terrorism, that has to do with killing of our soldiers, is political. And our politicians are making money from it. They are not telling us the truth. So they know the solution. And if they want to resolve it today, they will resolve it. Just like in Imo State, you say unknown government, in a state that you are governed, and they are telling you unknown government. Imo State, that is as small as